Hey guys, I I thought I was going to have to pull out some props and say hello. Yeah, no, I'm going to phone this one in because the dog ate me homework. I got a flat tire. I don't know. Whoa. Power went off. No, it did. It did. Power went off at work here, and it was an 8-hour power short outage or something like that. It was a one of those ones they tell you about that I forgot. And the lesson here is that you don't leave everything till the last minute. Sometimes I've had a couple of videos banked up ahead, and just lately there's been a whole lot of things that have happened, and it's just sort of like I'm behind the 8 ball. I don't know what the 8 ball is. I've been asking people, what is this 8 ball they talk of, because I feel like I'm behind it and I'm a little bit anxious. I've got a whole bunch of things going on. The grass is growing at home. I'm behind on all my projects, and here I needed to get this video done for today to come out tomorrow. And I looked at the video that I had planned to do, which is the 200 series airbags one, and it's I don't know, it was about 15 minute files. I don't know how I'm going to turn that into a short video, but while I saw that there, I thought, oh, what's that got to do? There's a couple of files at the end there. What's that? What, you know, where does that story end? And it was nothing to do with that job. It was to do with putting the hoist up. And there was a little gap in the hoist story where I didn't show you how I marked out the floor. And I wondered, because it happened quite a while ago, almost, well over 6-7 months now, I wondered whether I'd actually filmed it. I wasn't sure. And then I found 3 files. I can make a nice short little video about that. So this is what I'm doing here. I'm telling you the long story about how it worked out that I left something to the last minute, and I found some files. I'm going to go and slot that in there. You're going to watch it. It makes sense. It actually makes sense for what happened in the last hoist video you saw. There was some confusion whether I'm going the wide or the narrow configuration, and this tells you why. So we're going to get into that now. All right. Sorry about that. Thanks. Oh, and with the 200 series thing, I'm going to come back to that. Won't be straight away. Who wants to know about putting airbags in a 200 series? Who wants to know that? I'll give you a short tip. Pay someone to do it. Yeah. I could just show you the clip at the end of that video, at the end of that day. You saw me putting the brake pads in. I was finished by lunchtime. That took long enough. Went down after lunch, and I was there till midnight. So we're talking like something like 10 hours doing airbags. I didn't do it. I tried to take shortcuts. There's a lesson in that. I might show you that, maybe. Or I can just cut to the end. Show you how dirty, it's absolutely covered in dirt, and I wasn't broken. I don't give up. I almost give up sometimes. I feel that I fight through, but it's hard sometimes not to give up. That was a hard job. Pay someone to do that. With a hoist, someone with a hoist, that'd be a smart thing to do. And don't take the shortcuts. I was talking to my dad. He was asked to help out or do a job on his hoist with the same type of scenario on a similar sort of Land Cruiser type of thing. And the person wanted to take the same shortcuts that I took. And my dad said, no. Mate, if you want to do it that way, you do it yourself. You can use my hoist, away you go. He came back a couple of months later and said, I wish I didn't take those shortcuts because I've got to do the job again. So I didn't. I was just talking to him about it at the time, and he told me that little story. So look, I'm rambling now. I'm going to chuck this bit on the front of the video that I'm doing for the laying out the position of the columns and YMCA. No, I don't. No, not like that. Now I'm just being stupid. And there was that. All right. Hey Maggie. Maggie, where you going? Oh yeah. Come on, let me show you what I've been doing. I didn't bring you down yesterday. So me and Maggie, Maggie doesn't seem to be taking any notice. Me and Maggie are here down there tonight to wow, we're gonna do some more on putting this 2-post hoist up. I did some markings. I did some, you know, like mathematician stuff. We've made some little marks on the ground here. I got there's little blue marks there. I could make a chalk line, but that'd just make a mess, wouldn't it? But I run the little laser. I've got a little laser there, and I set it up on here, and I just caught the edge of the foot, and because I've basically taken that as far as I can this way, and I'd taken it as far as I can that way so that the arms here don't hit on here, so I've given it 10mm clearance sort of thing. But then when I worked it out, this here, this blue mark here, which lines up with something like here, you know, that's, you know, a foot or more inside the doorway, and this one here would line up with probably, I don't know, 3 inches to the outside of the doorway, and that's at the wide setting, because you get two widths for these hoists, so you can have you got a couple of bolts to undo in the middle. That's the roof piece there, the top beam. But there's a couple of bolts to undo, and you can extend that out to the wide setting or the narrow setting. And the cables also have a wide setting and a narrow setting, and I'll show you that too, because I've set this up to do the wide setting. The hoses also have a wide setting. That little extension hose in there is so that you've got enough hose to reach over the other side. For the wide setting, now I had a look here and I thought, okay, that's where the post is, the post is going to go here, and it doesn't, you know, you'd drive in and you'd be off centre. That wouldn't be very good. Now there's no point having a hoist that's wider than your doorway, largely, because if you can't get in here, you can't get it on the hoist. The narrow setting actually works out pretty damn good. I think it was 3009 for the wide setting, and the white marks here represent the narrow setting, which was 2630 or something like that, so 26 something. So and when I run my laser through here, because I've got it on the floor, I can't measure it just straight onto the floor. I was just doing it with the laser to be lazy. That's what lasers are for, to make you lazy. But they are really cool machines. So that actually came at about 70mm inside onto the door itself. You know, so 70mm into the door opening. And then this one here, my estimation based on where it is compared to this beam and that sort of thing there, it's about 40mm or so on the other side of the, well, not in the door frame, on the other side. So I need to bring it back somewhere between those two. I think it's going to be about 35-40mm. I've got to do some mathematician stuff. For some reason I'm having a brain fart here to make that, you know, work. But you know, I could shift it, say 40mm, something like that. No, more. I think it's going to be 50mm, something like 50mm. If I shift that 50mm, I'll be 10mm into the doorway. If I shift that 50mm, I'll be 20mm into the doorway. It might be 55, something like that. It's going to be something like that. So, so I'm going to get it so that I'm, you know, right inside where the doorway is. I'm going to make that distinction. I'm going to make some final marks. I'm going to move this one over to where it's got to be. I'm going to walk this one around to where it's got to go, and I will have a little play with some shims to see if I need to. It looks like I do need to shim this one a little tiny bit. They do seem to rock a bit, like seems to rock a bit, you know, back and forth this way especially. Now whenever you put a big bunch of welds in like that, that's probably 3 passes there, the metal does bend up, right? So I'll put the spirit level on and see what we've got. I'll double check it with the laser level. All of these things have a certain amount of accuracy. This is Stabila, so it's a good one. It's but there's each one of these will have a certain accuracy level. Have I got my good one here? I have got 6-foot laser, a 2 meter one as well. It won't matter though. You know, it's near enough for what we're doing here. So what we'll do is we'll shuffle this around, and yeah. Do you want to watch me do some math magician stuff? I don't know if that's going to be. Oh, actually, this is me doing math magicians here last night. Wasn't making a whole lot of sense. So I have got 40. I got 70. Yeah. 42. Did I say? 45. 70. It's something like 50. 57.5. You know, I think that's what we're looking at. Something along those lines. How about I just switch up here? Hey Maggie, where you going? Let's see if I can move that. Hey, what do you think? Oh, you've been in the bendies again. You got stuff hanging out of your mouth. You've been in the prickles. Is this how you get your pets? Hey. Oh, you got plenty here. I've got to shift this, Maggie. I have to shift that. What we're saying? 55, 58. Let's do that. Let me get myself a crayon. Let me get myself a white crayon, put down this end. So we're going to go from here to doing this side for a start. Something like that. Alright. Let's see if I can keep this straight and all that. Straighten that up in line with our, so I'm going to put a line straight down here parallel to that end of the shed. I think that's what the instructions tell you to do. If not, it just makes sense to me. things up without putting the bolts into the ground. These things walk around all over the place. Pretty hard to get them exactly where you want them. Okay. Bit of jiggling. I have managed to get that, well, to be honest, it's probably 2 mils this way from what I want, but if I line this up through here now, I can probably see, get an idea where it's going now, and I would say we're going to hit the door frame. Now I think, is that about where it needs to be? Make sure I'm up above the weld there. That's at the front of the beam. It looks like about there. Yeah, it looks about there. So it's, in theory, I've shifted. That was where it was before. That's where it is now. I think I've shifted 58 mils. If I go from the centre of that to the centre of that, it's like, yeah, it's 55 or something. Which is probably about, I think I want to be a little fraction more. I think I want to be just a little bit more. I'll try that. Just going to make sure I'm lined up on that and that, so it's a bit in the shadow there, but that's not bad. As long as I'm up against that, am I? I think I am. Gonna have fun trying to get a shim in there, and I do need one there, so we'll see how we go. That's not bad. I think we're the same amount off the line. There we are, yeah, so it's pretty good. So if anything, it might be this way a little bit, but what is that? And we're more like on that part of the line there now. This, what are we? Just on the edge of the door frame, really. I think if we lined that up, yeah, just the edge of the door frame, the edge of the door opening. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. More likely this one here now. Oh, about there somewhere. Yeah. So the centre of that line. So in theory we've shifted. Yeah, about 57, something like that. So that's about right. And now what we've got to do is got to find our mark, our specs, the narrow width of inside the posts, our H dimension inside the posts. It's the only one that's really decent measurement, because this one here, the outside post measurement, is actually with these covers on for the safety things. It's not actually that there, I don't think. So that's a solid measurement. H, sorry. H long as we're looking at the right hoist. The narrow measurement is 2679. Alright, so that's what I'm looking at, 2679. Make sure this is on the right thing up here. Alright, in the middle of that. Alright. And I'm going to change to blue now. That'll make sense to me. 2679. Right. And I can get a right angle on here. Give us something to shoot for. That's our reference line here. Where are we? Yeah. So in the middle of that, in the middle of that. Okay. Is that looking right? Okay. Oh. There we go. Rightio. So I might even just line up the laser on that. See where that shoots to, because I've got a lot of shit in the way. The so-called tripod. Supposed to wear glasses or something. Stop the laser killing you or something. So here we go. I'm lining that up off this mark here. This mark here. Just bearing in mind I've probably got a little bit of parallax error or a bit of compounding error. Big thick lines and making marks off reference lines and stuff like that. But okay. So that says it's 10 mils inside the door frame. And the other one looks like it's right on the door frame. You know what? I reckon we're so close. That's just where it's going. So we're going to give it a tick. You can see that up there, can't you? So we're up there, up the doorway. So I reckon we'll give this a... That's the mark we're going with. Alright. And we will we'll come over here. And that is the mark we're going with. Alright. And now all we have to do, it's simple really, is move that one there over to there. Get in a position. Do you concur, Maggie? Do you think that's a good idea? Alright. And I had my brother-in-law's Hilti, big heavy duty concrete drilling machine borrowed, and I said I only need it for the one weekend, and it's been a couple of weeks. I haven't used it. I was going to do it last night, but little emergency come up, you know, the gas bottle ran out. I had to go and change the gas bottle, and I I thought I'll do it tomorrow night, which is today. And of course today is the day he rang up and needed it, you know, so so I'll have to get that tomorrow, and he's finished with it, and grab it for a day. But at least I'll be ready to drill the holes after this little session here. Hey Max, get my safety boots on. They're gonna have to come out and then back around so I don't hit the thing, the roof. But let me tell you, for safety, you know, like me, full of safety, you know, I've got my safety boots on, and but I've tied them up, you know, just so they can't fall over, you know. I'm thinking ahead. Got all the good ideas. Do as I say, not as I do. Hey Max. Lighting's not so good, but can't have a look. See what we're trying to do. So we got a little line here, a little line up the middle as well. Line here, so we want to get that to be in line with that. So I want to tilt it out a little bit here, but also make sure the front edge of this beam, here, is right about here. Is pretty well there, and it feels pretty good. I just need to clock that a little bit this way. Alright, so that needs to be on there, so I need to come back a little bit. There, and there. It's pretty good there. I mean, a millimetre or something. I think we're at the stage we start hitting it with a hammer to get it exactly how we want it. Totally happy with that. Totally happy with that, really, if I'm being honest. And that's lining up like 10 mils inside the thing, isn't it? Somehow, yeah. I think we need to turn it just a little bit more this way. That's probably it. No, I don't know, is that any different? Probably use the 10 mil just inside, isn't it? Yeah. Alright, so the other one that I want to measure is just to confirm that we still have that measurement that we need. 26, what was it? 2679. H narrow 2679. Right. Well, the good thing about these Stanley Fat Max ones is they've at least got a decent stick out, you know. Come on. Okay. Oh, this is hard to do by yourself, you know. These Fat Maxes, they did change the game, but come on. I'd love to be able to show you the other end here. Oh, I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give up. That end's done. Ah! All right. Right, there you go. We'll grab a magnet. Oh, will that hold? Will that hold? That's the thing, isn't it? Let's see. That might hold. Got to get it straight. Come on. I just want to show you. Okay. It looked like, oh, there it is. Yeah, I'd say that's within a mil or so. I think that's within a millimetre or so. Now, all we do need to see is if we're not plumb, straight up and down, which way are we leaning? So, yeah, I'd be happy with that. And that's not bad either, but even it's leaning a little bit of bow in that. Let's measure it off the back here. It might be more accurate. Yeah, I'd be happy with that. And then that one's out. That needs to come back away. So we need 10 mils up here. We need 10 mils away from the door. And probably the same. So, you know, it'll be, yeah. So we'll probably go and put the screws in here and here first, because we were going to shim it. We'll shim it on this side here. Yeah, so we're going to drill the holes. Probably put these two in first. Make sure it doesn't walk around. And I'll put some little marks around the outside, maybe on each corner or something like that, so we know it hasn't walked. And we'll do that now. All right. So this one we'll go with white markings. We'll go with white markings. We'll go here. Oh, jeez. Okay, rightio. And we'll go for a blue marking on the other side. I don't know why we're doing it any different. I don't know why. Just to be difficult, probably. You know, that's what people would say. We'll make a mark here. It's on the corner. Bit of a fat mark, really, isn't it? Right, yeah. There we go. We're set up. We're set up. We're good. So I'll get those screws in there, those dyno bolts in there, lag bolts. What are they going to be called? There's a bunch of names for these ones. True bolts, wedge anchors. These are good ones though. So we're going to get those in. I won't tighten them up yet. I'll leave a little bit there so I can get some shims underneath there. We've got some shims in the packaging there somewhere. Packaging, shims. Yep, shims here, that one's. So they can slide in underneath. This one here is going to be a bit tricky to get one into that one, into that part there. But I might be able to, if I do that one first, I'll be able to get it in from the side there or something like that. Maybe I can lean it back and put it under there, something like that. So, yeah, that's gold. So it gives us a bit of clearance here. We've got plenty of clearance here. Those posts there are the insides of the door frames. So we're good. I'll just check that one. The other one there, I think it was pretty much in line. Yeah. So we're within 10 mil of what we needed to do there. And probably the thing is that that's out by that much, maybe just from the twist, or maybe my maths wasn't that good, you know. So what I need to do now is I need to change this onto the change it onto the. Actually, I'll tell you what, I'm not even going to bump all this. I'm going to put all that in, and then I'll change that. I can always jack this up to get underneath if I have to, but I had my arm in here, down to here, to be able to change the position. All I need to do is cut a couple of cable ties on this, let that out a little bit more without it coming off, and hook it onto the different little knurled, what's the name of thing? That's the proper name for it. So Maggie, you still here? She's left me. So that's what it's going to look like. That's what it's going to look like coming in here. Does it look like I can still get in? Yeah, it can, yeah, I'll be able to get in. I'll be able to get in with most vehicles, I think. As long as I don't put the what's an EV there, I'll have to put it there, and I'll be fine. Alright, so thanks for watching. We'll come back to you on the next episode, which is drilling the holes. Rightio. Alright, Jim Bob out.
Baby blue, baby blue. I've been hoping you'd say that you'd still found a way into my heart, baby blue. Yabba dabba doo.